Welcome in, everybody. It is November 21st, 2025. We are in the home stretch of this year already being over here. It is episode 8. Can't believe to say that. Episode 8 of Tour of Japan here on BodySlamNet's social pages. We're currently live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, X, kind of all the above, the social media channels. So welcome in, everyone, to Tour of Japan episode 8. My name is Max Dedrick. I'm always joined by my good friend Blackhawk, who is on the, as they say in baseball, the IL, or the EL, but IL at this point, the sick list, I would say, for Blackhawk. He's been dealing with a bit of an illness. We probably couldn't do the show last week, but we are back talking all things Japanese pro wrestling. Moxley's already here with us, so thanks, Mox.
Yes, sir.
For joining us. I know he always waits and excites for his Friday 7 o'clock podcast here. So we have a big show here to talk about today because we did miss last week's show. We're going to break down Okada being the opponent for Tanahashi at the Tokyo Dome. We're going to talk about some Noah news. We're going to talk about some other news in the world. The Grand Prix, for example, we'll talk about with Noah. Super World Tag League just started for New Japan. And then because Blackhawk and I are doing the post show for AEW Full Gear tomorrow, we find out that we'll do the predictions for Full Gear here on this podcast as well. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm your co-host. Yeah, you're right. You're the comments co-host, Moxley. You do chat a lot. And again, if you're joining us right now on any of our platforms, if you're watching where you can hit that like button, please hit that thumbs up button. Really helps our algorithm so more people can check out our videos. If you're currently watching us live, also join Moxley in the comments. We'd love to hear from everyone who's tuning in to this episode today. It's more fun when we are engaging with the audience, so please talk. And any topics in the world of pro wrestling, even if it's not Japanese pro wrestling, and you want to ask anything about anything pro wrestling, we're here to answer your questions as well. And subscribe, follow us on all of our social media platforms. We'll promote more stuff towards the end of the episode here today. But Blackhawk, on this November 21st, 7 o'clock evening, how are you feeling today, Blackhawk?
Well, I felt better in my life, but this is probably the best I felt in the last 2 weeks. So
hey, that's a win. That's it.
It's a win.
Stay optimistic. Yeah.
Yep.
How you're, other than being sick, have you been all right the last what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, everything's been good. We had some really good wrestling in between the last 2 weeks and now. And so a lot of good stuff to watch. We're going into another weekend of incredible shows. So I can't wait to see what's up.
Yeah. I was talking to Blackhawk before we came on. It's really funny where it felt like for 2 straight months I was doing post shows for Body Slam for every pay-per-view. That I felt like every week there was a Saturday Night's Main Event or a PLE or an AEW pay-per-view that I was talking about. So it's actually kind of nice the last couple of weeks. There haven't been any weekend shows like pay-per-views, so I could kind of relax, have a usual Saturday without having to work or anything. So, but tomorrow I'm actually very happy to be back with Blackhawk doing the AEW Full Gear post show. Blackhawk couldn't join me for the last post show, but I think it was All Out was the last one you did with me.
Yeah.
I think the one Wrestle Dream I did by myself, but All Out was the last one. So I'm very happy because usually I do all the post shows for every week with Rami, but Blackhawk always joins me for the AEW one. So excited to we'll end the show talking about Full Gear tomorrow at the Prudential Center, which is pretty much like a 30-minute drive from my place. So pretty excited for the show. Let's start with the big news I think that we predicted on this podcast. I asked my bestie Tekla to watch the show. Hopefully she shows up. All right, hopefully she shows up.
That would be pretty sick.
I will say Tekla in AEW is one of my favorite performers this year. I think she's extremely good in the ring, and her talking pops me every week when she cuts a promo. So I'm very big fan of hers. But let's talk about what we called on this show 2 weeks ago. We were talking about when we came on the show on November 7th, the report was we would find out Tanahashi's opponent for the Tokyo Dome in a week or two. And we said, we kind of wrote off Nakamura, and Blackhawk was the first one to say it probably should just be Okada at this point. And it turned out Okada showed up, I think the next morning, that very morning in Japan with his old New Japan music, crowd, that's one of the largest Japanese props I've heard in a long time. Like, it was electric. It was not a big show for them. It wasn't a live event, but it wasn't one of their big shows or a tournament show. So for them to have that big of a pop was really cool. Okada Tanahashi will take place at the Tokyo Dome. When you first saw this, Blackhawk, I think we all thought it made sense. But what were your initial thoughts when the news came out?
I mean, yeah, it made complete sense to me. And we had talked about it, that night. If Shinsuke Nakamura isn't an option, Okada feels like the only option left.
Yeah.
And so when the music hit, I did pop.
Yep.
Because it is kind of crazy that it was just that quick of a announcement. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see if anything will flesh out between him and Takeshita during the show, because they will both be in the Tokyo Dome with huge matches.
Probably the final two matches.
Yeah. And so I would be interested to see if there is some hunky-dory interference.
In the main event, probably.
Yeah, either that or just like even just a couple stare downs here and there. Just a little drama there because they're both on big like portions of the show.
Yeah, you're right. I think it will be the final two matches. I still think because of the double title, I think Takeshita Tsuji will close out the show. But I still think Tanahashi and Okada will be the semi-main. I think you're right. I think there's a good chance Okada could cost Takeshita the world title match at the Tokyo Dome to only, continue that. Because here we are, it's November 21st. We're basically a month, and I think we're 6 weeks or so, or under 50 days from the Tokyo Dome. So I think at this point, I don't think they're doing Takeshita and Okada. Maybe they won't do it before the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
Obviously, World's End is coming up for them, but I don't think they're gonna, because they're spoilers for the pre-show, but they're gonna be on the pre-show tomorrow in a 6-man tag, so they're not even on the main show. I don't know if that they would spawn off already and just go into the match. Now they could, and I don't think it will just be a one-off between the two of them anyway.
No, not at all.
Especially because the Continental Classic is starting on Wednesday, and I think they're going to have Takeshita probably win the Continental Classic. I would think they would have him win to face Okada. So I don't know if that goes up to World's End or this Revolution. I think is usually their first pay-per-view, and that's not until February, March area. Here we go. So Moxley, I see what you're going to say. Before we get to Okada, I'll let you get your points in before I talk about the House of Tour pay-per-view, but how did 7 billion buys and was it 20? Yeah, it probably was. Evil, the greatest wrestler alive in a 20-star league. I don't know if that's true. I did not spend whatever it was, $15 for this pay-per-view. It's hard enough when I watch World Tag League and it's House of Torture versus House of Torture match, and it's double shenanigans. I mean, I don't know. The crowds are tired of it, but Moxley, I'm really happy you keep enjoying it. Evil and Don Fale did get the win last night against Chase Owens and Yujiro, but not for me. I knew you were going to bring up the pay-per-view. I knew you're probably the one person in the whole country who wanted to watch that pay-per-view, but but I think Okada and Tanahashi will honestly be really good, Blackhawk. I think Okada's had a really nice couple of, and Randy, welcome. I know you're always here. Thanks for supporting as always, as he's watching on Facebook. But I think it'll be a good match. Tanahashi, by the way, is doing another tournament. He's in the World Tag League this year, so he's wrestling basically every day for the next month and a half again, which is amazing. Luckily, I think ELP will help out and carry some of these matches.
Yeah.
But I think if there's a chance for another great Tana match, I think Okada can bring it out. They are heated, I've seen them wrestle a billion times. And I think if you couldn't get Nakamura, I even think Okada's a bigger rival to him than Nakamura. So I think anyone working today, he feels like he has the best chemistry or story history with Tanahashi. Yep. Do you think this is a scenario where, it's not like Okada needs to win? Noticing these Japanese retirement matches, they put a young person over for a win. It's not like Okada needs to beat Tanahashi here, but I would think they would have Okada win. But what are your thoughts on that, decision?
I feel like it could go either way when you bring in Okada. If they're going to do Tsuji, I would assume Tsuji would go over.
Yeah, I agree.
But Okada is already established. He's already, been one of your top people in New Japan. Hiroshi Tanahashi is, the ace of New Japan.
Yep.
I could see it going either way. They could send Hiroshi Tanahashi out on a win, or, they could do what everybody believes they'll do and put Okada over. It really could just be either way at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And you see that inside of Japan, that Japan's John Cena and the regular John Cena are retiring a month apart. Japan's John Cena. That is a really funny.
What a crazy statement.
I'll say this: Cena would kill to have some of the matches Tanahashi's had 15, 20, even 10 years ago at this point. But
Tanahashi's had more matches this year than John Cena has in the last 10.
Oh, I know. Dude, Tanahashi, I respect it. The guy wrestles. I mean, it's his last year, and he's at every show wrestling. Obviously, it's different. Cena's a celebrity. He's acting. He can't commit to all. Tanahashi's also running the company. He's the president of the company. So, he kind of has to be at all these shows. But, yeah, I'm very excited for the match. We haven't had any other matches announced for the Dome as of now. But obviously we're in World Tag League, so we'll get some momentum here over the next. World Tag League's long. It started yesterday, doesn't end until December 14th. It's basically 4 weeks straight, basically, of tag team wrestling, which I like a lot. We'll get into some Tag League after we talk about Noah, but do you still think, and I think so, Takesha's main eventing the show. I don't think Tanahashi Okada could, but I just don't think. I think because they made the Okada Tsuji match a double title match, I feel like that kind of has to. It's got a main event. If it doesn't, I'm gonna question what Ghetto's doing back there. Oh, he's out. You know what? I'm warming up to Gato because he wrestles now a lot, and I don't know why. I just think he's very funny. So, he's cursed. He couldn't be more Japanese, but he's cursing in English every other word.
And I've always found him very funny because I remember I was watching something and he was in it. It was years ago.
Yeah.
And he was wrestling in gym shorts and high top sneakers. He just looked like a goofball.
Yeah. He does you can just tell he has a good time when he's out there. Moxley does think Tanahashi and Okada is going to main event the show. I don't know. I think if it was just a regular IWGP World Title match, I honestly would think so. But it's a double. It's their top 2 belts. That's this match. I can't. I think they want to end the show not looking at the past. This whole show, I think, is ending on he is our new ace. This is like a passing of the torch moment where Tanahashi retires, and then the next match you have your next ace of sorts being the guy for the company moving forward. I think it's a good story for them where they've had so many instances where it's not been. First of all, it's been foreigners with the world title a lot of the time. Yeah. And even though Takesha's awesome, the Japanese crowd does not see him as a New Japan guy, obviously. So I don't think they're going to have a fan vote. I really do think they want to end the show with Tsuji being like, I'm the guy, I'm Mr. New Japan, I'm the future of the company. We go from the past to the future. I respect if Tanahashi and Okada main event the show and they want to end with it's like a Tanahashi retirement thing. But I just think he's going to lose in the semi-main. It's going to be a huge retirement thing. And I think they want to end the show on a big emotional high. This is, if you want to keep watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, because a lot of people are going to watch this show because Tanahashi is retiring, grab a new audience and be like, they have Takesha in the main event. I think Takesha wins and Tanahashi sends the fans home happy. Man, Takesha winning both titles as not a New Japan guy would be crazy.
That's great, yeah. Ghetto out there smoking crack.
What do you think, Mom? You think it's a bad idea? I think so.
Yeah, I think it's an awful idea.
I do think Okada, if they don't do Okada Takesha for AW before Tokyo Dome, I would have Okada cost Takesha the match.
Yeah. 100%.
He's there. And that's 100%. A good. And also that looks good from an AW television perspective because they could be like, look what happened at the Tokyo Dome. And by the way, they've already announced 40,000 tickets sold. It's going to be, it's on pace to be the highest grossing or most highest sold tickets ever for a Tokyo Dome. They said they could probably get to 56,000 tickets for the show, which is unbelievable.
That's crazy.
The last couple of years have not been great attendances. They've been around like 20, 25,000. And it's just too big of an arena to only have 25,000 people there. I don't watch baseball for Japanese baseball, but you can just tell how big of an arena it is. And the old school New Japan Tokyo Domes, they are just mass, like WrestleMania level crowds. So is that exciting to you? I mean, 56,000 is a lot of people for a non-WWE show.
It's very exciting, especially because, it seems like New Japan has struggled to find their identity through Hiroshi Tanahashi's retirement.
Yep.
Like what they're going to be doing after. And so it shows that there's a lot of people who have faith in New Japan to carry through and do a good job. But also shows that a lot of people love Tanahashi and want to be there for his last match ever.
I agree. I think it might be their most important show post-pandemic.
Yes.
I think it's their most important show. Last year was a big show, but again, it was not, I think Wrestle Dynasty helped make it feel like a big 2-day event, but it wasn't really focused on making Wrestle Kingdom one of the best Wrestle Kingdoms ever. I think, and again, they've only announced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. They probably need like 4 or 5 more matches on the show. That's not including the battle, the Rambo at the beginning of the show. It's amazing. I just want to say it's amazing that there's gonna be that many people in the arena. I hope it's an electric crowd. It's usually a more touristy crowd because then you have a lot of foreigners from outside Japan come in for the show. So it always is the loudest New Japan crowd. So it is exciting. We're going to talk about World Tag League in a second, but Blackhawk, Noah has been in the headlines as well. Talk about some Noah news here.
So we had the end of the Junior Grand Prix, and had a couple of big matches that went along with that aren't necessarily part of the Grand Prix. But for the finals or the semifinals, we had Kai Fujimura defeat Hayata, and then Himuro Takahashi defeat Tasuke, and then Himuro Takahashi would defeat Kai Fujimura, just like I said he would. So
that's right.
He wins the Junior Grand Prix.
Yep.
I don't believe. Let me check something before we go. They do have a match for him at New Year. We'll get to in just a second. Big tag team news. Team 2000X did defeat Hank and Tank to take back the title belts.
Yep.
And Yoshiki Inamura defeated Kaito Kitayama for the GHC Heavyweight Championship. In a pretty good match. Yoshiki Inamura has definitely changed up his style, and I think for the better.
Because he came to the States,
really good. Yeah, he definitely added some things from United States wrestling, and added good things, not any bad J's or spears or anything like that.
Everyone's doing spears these days.
Yeah. He just added more flair and has been able to show more of his personality through his moves, which has been good. Kaito Kitayama, though, it just feels like he's been checked out ever since he lost the belt.
I think he is, Marcy. It's probably the first year to win the New Japan Noah Junior tournaments. I can only imagine.
Yes. Well, so this is the first year that they've ever done a Noah Junior tournament. So he is the first winner of it all.
I can't believe they had him win the tournament. Are you shocked by that?
Not really. I predicted that he would win.
Well, I know, but still, are you shocked by it or no?
No. I think something big is going to happen within the junior division.
Okay.
Eventually, and I think it'll be somewhat of like a renaissance for the Noah Junior division, because somebody's going to have to rise to the ranks and take the belt back for Noah.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't really have anybody right now that I would trust to take the belt back. That's wrestled at like a high caliber.
Yeah.
To take on that kind of challenge. But we do have 3 matches for Noah the New Year, which is pretty much Noah's WrestleMania show. That's like their biggest show that they do every year. So we have GHC Heavyweight Championship, Yoshiki Inamura versus Ozawa. Ozawa will be cleared by then to compete.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be really good.
Good.
Junior Heavyweight Championship, Hiromu Takahashi versus Amakusa. I always say that one wrong. Amakusa. That one, I just believe Hiromu Tanahashi is going to take that one. Amakusa just hasn't really done much this year.
Yeah.
So it would be shocking for me if he won that one. And then GHC National Championship, Dragon Bane versus Alpha Wolf. So that one will be an incredible match. So we've got, Amakusa can put on a really good match. And so can Takahashi. So I think all three of these that they've announced so far will be really, really good to start off the year.
That's great. It's very fascinating that the Japanese wrestling, their big events are the first couple days of January.
Yeah.
like it's, I don't know if I'm just programmed that April is usually WrestleMania and just get being like kind of feels like the halfway point of the actual year. It's so weird where Japanese wrestling, it crescendos at literally the year starts and you already feel like we have to wait a whole other year for it to get back to the crescendo.
Yeah.
You think that's a problem, or I'm used to it because of Wrestle Kingdom, but I don't know. It's a weird thought.
I like it, but it also feels like if I was doing it, I'd probably have the crescendo in December and start the new year fresh on something. But I also get it. Like for us in America, the big events happen, around summer vacation ish for school people. So kids are out of school, they can go. And that's like the only reason. I feel like if there wasn't like a school reason and like Christmas reason, I feel like WrestleMania would probably be in December at some point.
Yeah, All In I like because it's July usually, which is right in the middle of the summer, which makes sense. WWE, it's a weird date because it's not the halfway point of the year. School is still kind of heading down the home stretch, but schools are still going on.
Yeah.
January 1st to 5th is like the WrestleMania weekend. It really is. It's very fascinating to me. Because post, these big shows, it takes another year. Obviously it does for WrestleMania too, but it's very weird, but I always think it's a great way to start the year where I'm waking up and watching Japanese wrestling early in the wee hours. I always enjoy it. But yeah, it's definitely very interesting. And again, I think it's good that Noah's still using the NXT people. Dempsey, last time I checked, was still in Japan. I don't know what he's doing, but like on Tuesday, they were saying he was still in Japan.
He hasn't had a match recently, if I don't
believe. And yeah, he could just be lying and he's in the States, but he's in Japan.
Yeah.
But Hank and Tank, I think it's good work for them. And I think NXT needs it because I'm shocked. I was mad and shocked when Javon and Leon did not win the tag titles on Tuesday and Dark State are still the champions. And they just don't have enough good babyface tag teams right now. So I would be shocked if Hank and Tank don't beat Dark State again to win the titles. So I think it's good. It gives them some work, keeps them out of the tag title mix in NXT without basically pinning them to hell, and they can get some good work in. I think it's good. Some of these teams, NXT people, we talk about this all the time, need work, but just need matches. And they got rid of the NXT level up, and it's very rare now. It's usually like 1 or 3 superstars at a time go down to Evolve and do a stint down there. But now it seems feels like a cemetery now. Evolve, like you work there and now you're no longer working for the company anymore. So maybe it's good they're sending them to Japan. But
it feels like they have faith in them that they'll be a really, really good asset to the company.
You were in the building for the NXT on Tuesday. I want to say it was a weird show because literally all the heels won on the show. I thought the arena, like the theater and MSG, looked really cool on TV. I thought it was a really different looking. I know they've done it before, but it looked with the they used like the Pittsburgh Steelers towels, but they did like NXT towels. I thought that was very smart. It did not go over well on when I was watching it because like Javon. It's like they don't know what to do with him on NXT. It feels like Shawn Michaels is like, please call him up. Like if you like him so much, I'm not going to put a belt on him, and then he just gets
Yeah,
called off.
exactly.
But then Javon's losing to Gunther, and then the next night I was like, okay, so he has momentum. Him and Leon win the tag titles off Dark State. And when they got pinned clean, I was like, wow. I was like, I don't know what else you do. Like the fact that the Javon Leon Slammiversary match, or not Slammiversary, Bound for Glory match got ruined by a Dark State just to put over Dark State on NXT TV special. You got like 5 of those towels. It was a very cool venue. I thought the show was a very mixed bag as usual for NXT. Honestly, more negative than I'm not a huge fan of the product at the moment for NXT, and I watch every week. But I thought it looked, it was not good. It was bad. It's tough to piss people off, but they had every heel win on the show. And again, I think Ethan Page and Chelsea, that's the right move. Blake winning was the right move. Don't like the decision on the booking of the ending of that match, but Blake needed to win the match. And I think people were mad about Tatum losing the title that quickly to JC. I like JC. I was shocked she won because I thought this would be her last hurrah in NXT because she's been there for God knows how long. And then she just won the title again. So I NXT is such a weird brand. You really don't know what's going to happen in a battle.
I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication between the main roster and NXT on like what they're planning on doing in the future, because it feels like JC Jane's been there for a while, and all of them have been there for a while, and it's just like, all right, well, we got the belt off of them, it's time to move them up, and they're like, oh, actually, we're not ready for them yet. Send them back down. Like same thing with Javon. Like Javon's leagues ahead of NXT. He should be on the main roster, but it's like they send him up. And he loses the match, and then they send him right back down, and they're just like, we're done with him now. And every time he's like, all right, we'll build him up again, the main roster calls like, hey, we'll take Javon for a week. And then he loses, and they send him back down.
Yeah, Tatum losing, I felt like I was shocked that the Tatum and Izzy feud was not for the title. I'm shocked that they had Izzy cost her the title, because then babyface wise, where do you get now? Again, Moxley, don't spoil what happened. I know they taped back another episode for this week. I appreciate that you're saying next episode sucks. Couldn't get me less excited for the show. But even like Sean Ross Sapp said, I've heard some news on what happened at the tapings. A lot of people beat the traffic when Tatum was. It's gonna be interesting to see on TV, Moxley, if I can see that on Tuesday. Like if you can tell people left the show. Because it's weird. They overly stacked the show on Tuesday, and then they're like, here's Gold Rush next week, and it's 2 Evolve title matches, which is weird. And other than me, I don't know who else watches Evolve. And then I think they have Trick and Miles, and they also have a TNA Knockouts title match on the show. So Kalani and Jordan Grace. So none of these matches are for NXT championships, it's called Gold Rush. But, hey, I'm happy you were there. I won't. I just wanted. I wasn't a fan of it. I appreciated Moxley for not spoiling it, because I used to go to takeovers. I went to Brooklyn 3 and 4, and they used to tape NXT before the takeovers. And I always didn't want to spoil to people either. So yeah, I appreciate it. Hopefully, you still had a good time though, because it looked like a fun, very unique spot to watch wrestling. Which everyone craps on these other companies for wrestling in smaller arenas. I think it's cool when they wrestle in smaller arenas. You won't be able to the building still looked full. Okay. But Boxley, I trust you that you believe people were leaving. But let's move on to, unless do you have anything else to talk about Marigold or Noah-wise Blackhawk?
No big news on Marigold, and I think it's about it for Noah at the moment.
Yeah, I don't have much news on Stardom either. I know they're doing the tag. The Knockouts title match was disappointing for me. I heard a lot of people, even though I don't know what happened, luckily I don't follow people who spoil stuff, but I heard this was the bummer of the night, whatever happened in this match. So, and I love both women. So if I saw Oba Femi, I was in heaven. I got to be honest. I was shocked when he returned 2 weeks ago. Another guy, I was like, just call him up.
Yes.
Why is he going back for the NXT
call him
title?
up.
Because what are you going to do? Beat him again? Like, Oba's going to go on a 2-match, like, lose again before main roster? Like, it feels like NXT is waiting for the Royal Rumble for these call-ups.
Yeah.
And everybody doesn't want to call up Oba, Javon, JC, like these type of people until the Royal Rumble. Just do it now. Like some of these rosters do need some freshening up, and why wait until like? And again, also, this is the Saudi Royal Rumble. Am I not mistaken? These people, I'm sorry to say, are not going to get big reactions. I can't imagine people in Saudi Arabia watching NXT.
No.
Like, I just feel like you do this now, establish one of the NXT people now on the main roster. So then when they get in the Rumble, they seem like bigger deals.
Exactly.
Again, like if Javon comes out at the Royal Rumble, is that going to get a big pop from the Saudi Arabian fans? I couldn't tell you. I could not.
Yeah, that's a 50-50 because I honestly don't. It's on Netflix over there, I guess. And so it would be easily accessible.
To watch
unlike, unlike the US, where it is more complicated to get to. But I just don't expect them to be paying that much attention to NXT. So it would be just kind of dumb.
I did remember they did say John Cena was going to pick the Iron Survivors, and it was a pre-tape. That is disappointing. Like if they were, because they did promote John Cena next week is going to pick the Iron Survivors. If it was a pre-tape, especially because Raw was in New York the day before, I'm actually kind of shocked they didn't have Cena come in and do like a 5-minute. Again, he's a busy guy, but
a busy man.
Busy because I assume he's going to be on. Maybe he's not going to be. No, he won't be on SmackDown. He's not in War Games, which shocked a lot of people. He's facing Dom, so he won't be on. No, he's like I don't think he's going to be on any of the shows until Survivor Series. That was his last Raw. That his last SmackDown. So I think I think he's got 2 more dates. I think it's just Survivor
Series and Saturday.
Really quick, World Tag League also just started yesterday. He has no more. Thanks, Corey, for doing. He has no more appearances.
Shout out Corey.
Shout out to Corey. I have it down below. I just changed it, of course. Right?
Cory Hays of BodySlam.net.
Yeah, please subscribe to our Patreon. Corey breaks so much exclusive pro wrestling news on BodySlam's Patreon. So if you like some big scoops in the world of pro wrestling, please. And he says that's why he didn't physically appear in NXT. That also makes a lot of sense, Corey. As Moxley was disappointed. They could have maybe alluded to him maybe not being at the actual show. But absolutely. Thank you again, Corey. Corey always supports. I try. Yeah. I also had an interesting conversation with Desmond Xavier about NXT. I can't believe they got rid of him. I was shocked. He was the longest reigning North American champion. I assume they recorded a segment on Raw. He was already there. I think they should have been doing that for years where they pre-taped up with Cena. Like there's so many times where Cena, like I think like years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, Blackhawk, like Cena would, when he was back kind of like part-time, he would just do dark matches. Like he wouldn't be on TV and would wrestle dark matches. And I'm like, if you have this guy there, do like a pre-tape or like have him wrestle on TV. Like why is he there showing up for Raw just to wrestle after the show's over? So funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the dark matches they do sometimes are very funny. Like I watched a street fight with Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. Was it 2 years ago when SmackDown came to town?
They were still wrestling 2 years ago.
They're still wrestling. Here they are doing it again. But yeah, it was, and that was really like a really good match. And I was like, why didn't this make TV? And I was like, oh, they're being dumb.
I saw on a Raw, the Raw I went to, it was 2017, 2018. It was like Seth and Bray were feuding at this point. This is when Bray was teasing like the Sister Abigail stuff. And they both did pre-tapes on Raw. And then after the show, they had a 10-minute match. Seth won. But yeah, thanks again. We can't thank Corey enough. He always supports our shows. If I'm doing the post shows or this,
big shout out to Corey.
Appreciate Corey. But yeah, World Tag League did start yesterday for New Japan. I would say it went good. The main event was fantastic yesterday with Shingo and Drilla Maloney beating Gabe Kidd and Tsuji. Really good match. Gabe took the pin from Shingo.
Nice.
Gabe and Tsuji, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. They're not going to win this tournament. Tsuji has the main event spot at Tokyo Dome. So what I hope is Gabe has. It was funny. Gabe returns for Blood and Guts. And the moment that happened, I said, wouldn't it be interesting if Gabe won the national championship? But then I realized Gabe's in Japan the same day as full gear. He's not getting he is Blood and Guts was amazing. The women's Blood and Guts was great. I thought all 3 matches absolutely delivered. I think like even Hangman and Hobbs was a really good last Falls Count Anywhere match, like really good match. I thought the men did good. I'm actually excited for O'Reilly and Moxley again tomorrow because I think Moxley, we'll talk about Moxley could be putting over O'Reilly again, I think, on the show tomorrow. But yeah, I thought the women, it wasn't a great story leading into it. It felt like very similar to WWE, they're just putting an all-star team together. But I think all in all, like Sky Blue, for a lot of people, became a noticeable act after Blood and Guts, like being in there first, bleeding very quickly into the match and really savoring it. I thought Mercedes was really good again in that match. She gets a lot of hate. She always just delivers, man. Her and Red Velvet was great on Wednesday. She just over delivers, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch Blood and Guts, and did you enjoy Blood and Guts?
I did not get a chance to watch it. It's on my list of things to do tomorrow.
There you go. That's perfect pregame.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Gabe. So it's funny because I was saying because Gabe shows up. Spoiler alert! Again, it happened a week ago, but Gabe shows up to help screw, to choke out Darby. I was saying, would Gabe Darby be like a pay-per-view match? But then Gabe just started World Tag League. He can't go from. He literally has a match tomorrow in Japan. He is not going from Japan to the States. Like they're not doing that. So happy Gabe keeps being used though in AEW. Whenever he's not wrestling for New Japan, he's in the States for AEW, which I like now. Yeah. I was actually shocked they had Bishamon lose to Satoshi Kojima and Taichi. Thought that was a bit of an upset yesterday. But yeah, I mean, Don Foley and Evil won, and Toriano and Bolin Oleg. Toriano does not interest me at all. The main event though tomorrow is Finley and Hiromu as a team against the Knockout Brothers of Yuto Ice and Oscar. So,
that one's going to be good.
Gato wrestling the Knockout Brothers yesterday in a 6-man tag was very funny. I just want to be honest. Like, him and Yuto Ice were like staring at each other. It was very funny. So that's the main event for tomorrow. Very excited about that. I think it's time to just talk Full Gear. We've kind of been glossing over AEW. So let's do our Full Gear predictions, because if you're just joining us, Blackhawk and I will be back tomorrow at the probably Sunday morning for me talking about AEW Full Gear. Because I got to be honest, I miss when these shows were tapping at 3:00 my time, and I could enjoy a 7 to 8 o'clock post show and then have the rest of the night to myself. But now I'm back to staying up until 1:30, 2 a.m. for this post show.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have nowhere to go on Sunday, so I can sleep in before football. But let's talk about the pre-show really quick. We got 4 matches on the tailgate. We have Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall, which is a Ring of Honor feud, by the way. They have not done this at all on AEW TV. It's been all on ROH TV. They'll be facing Roppongi Vice of Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. I think Big Boom and AJ and QT are going to win this match.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't. They get a massive pop anytime they come out. They're fan favorite.
Their hometown, the Jersey people.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense to make them lose on this.
Yeah, I do love Roppongi Vice, so they're very good people to be in the ring with for them. Then we have El Sky Team, which is the CMLL Trios champions. Mystico, Mascara Dorada, and Neon against Takeshita, Okada, and Hechicero. This is for the Trios title for CMLL. I assume Okada and Takeshita are going to screw each other out of this match, and Hechicero takes the pin or something. Or I can't imagine they're doing Okada and Takeshita winning another title. I don't think that happen. What do you think, Blackhawk?
Yeah, I don't believe El Sky Team will walk out without their belts. Poor Hechicero, because he will inevitably be the fall guy for whatever happens.
This match could be one of the more underrated matches, I think, on the show if it gets time.
Yeah. I think the pre-show honestly looks incredible.
There's
one of the better looking pre-shows that I think we've had in a long time.
Mine's saying this: Roderick Strong promising a match, and Blackhawk, it's looking like it's us versus him and Kyle. Really? You and Moxley against Paragon? I'll take Paragon right now. especially with Blackhawk being sick. I mean, come on, it's unfair, Moxley, to throw a sick person to a match of Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly just forced Jon Moxley to tap out. Okay? A tough guy. Right, Blackhawk?
There should be hawking loogies down their throat. Like, that's all I can do.
Yeah.
That's like all I got. It's like, you're going to be sick with me.
The story telling in the facial of Okada when Don Callis said it was funny when Don Callis was like, you know who's going to be on your team, Okada? Takeshita. And he was like, what the hell? He's like, really? I am excited. I'm sure. It's weird not to see Okada on the main show, but I'm happy he's on the show. Somehow. Hook, Eddie Kingston, Workhorseman. Hook and Eddie Kingston are going to win this match. Should not be on this show. I know Eddie is a New York guy. It's Jersey, though. I just don't. They have just fumbled Eddie Kingston's return so far. I don't care about anything he's done so far. No offense to him. This match should not be on. Like, we have to watch so many matches on this show. Like, I just don't think these are the matches that should not be on the pay-per-view. I'll probably do this rant. The same rant to you, Blackhawk, tomorrow. And then we have the $200,000 four-way tag. We have the Outrunners, Big Bill and Brian Keith, Caster and Bowens, Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson cutting a very funny promo on Wednesday about how much, it's all about winning the $200,000. And he kept saying, we're doing this for our 401ks and for our future children and all these things. Who do you got?
Well, the Outrunners.
Oh,
I love the Outrunners, so I will always pull for them.
There you go. Love to see it.
But I do think the Bang Bang Gang will probably take this one. I want the Outrunners, but I think the Bang Bang Gang.
I would say Bang Bang Gang, but the only team here with the actual story going on is Bowens and Caster. So I'm going to say they are going to win this match, but we will see. Main card. Let's see where we're going to start. Fletcher Briscoe, no DQ, TNT title match. If Briscoe loses, he's joining the Don Callis family. Fletcher's winning this match.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Well, here's the thing. I think the only interesting thing coming out of this feud, because this has been a feud all year. This is already their third pay-per-view match this year.
Yeah.
I saw it at Dynasty, and it happened at Wrestle Dream as well, and now it's happening here. It's the third pay-per-view match in 2025 between Fletcher and Briscoe. I think the only satisfying thing, honestly, is something different for Briscoe, which is joining the Don Callis family. What do you think?
Yeah. I hope he wins. Briscoe wins.
Do you?
I like him in the conglomeration better. I do enjoy the conglomeration a lot.
So do I.
And so he is a founding member of that. I hope they can stay together. But I feel like Kyle Fletcher should be putting his eyes towards bigger belts.
Ooh, so you're picking. I love us differing. We'll come back tomorrow to see. So you're picking Mark Briscoe, which I like.
I'm picking Briscoe.
Here's the problem though. If Briscoe wins, they have to do another match. Then it'll be 3 on 3. They're like, this is the best of 5 match, and then Fletcher won, and they're like, let's just run it back again. So if Fletcher loses, best of 7. We got to go to a game 7 if Briscoe wins. Moxley, O'Reilly, no holds barred. I don't think this match needs to be a no holds barred match because we're already having a no DQ match on the show and a steel cage match on the show. It's gonna be a lot of after blood and guts.
Yeah.
The same people are gonna be bleeding again. I think O'Reilly is going over again. I think Moxley's going to tap out again, and I think the post match is Moxley being kicked out of the Death Riders. The question is another superstar is another wrestler going to take over the group, or is it just be the regular Death Riders? They kick him out. We have one of them leading the group moving forward. I do definitely think O'Reilly is winning this match, though.
Yeah, I think O'Reilly wins, and I think Claudio takes over.
Claudio.
Death Riders. Yeah.
I think this is going to be a big return show. I think MJF is going to make his return on the show, but I think MJF is going to end the show based on who I think is going to win the main event. I think he's going to come out to end the show. And I think Swerve has a good chance of being in this gauntlet. We'll talk about that. I would never tap out. You would tap out. Kyle Riley's old dude. He is no joke. He learned mixed martial arts and all those things. You would probably tap out. We have a 4-way women's tag match. Now, this is interesting. These are all the 4 teams in the semifinals of the tag tournament. I'm shocked we are not getting a tag title match on this show. That's just like the 4 semifinalists.
Yeah.
And the winner of the match is picking the stipulation for the semifinal match. I just think it's so convoluted that this match is happening. I think they should have just had the title match on this show.
Yeah. This is one of the few things that I've always had a problem with AEW with is like they're taking too many steps to get to the same result. Like the qualifier, not qualifier, what is it, the eliminator matches or whatever?
Yeah.
Where you would have to win to be able to challenge the champion. Like, why double the match count out of this? Just do it now.
I
the
think
belt's here.
It was because they announced the titles, right? Then it took like a month off of not doing anything in the tag tournament. Then they just started the tag tournament recently, and now here we are at full gear. And I feel like they kind of dropped. And now again, Penelope got hurt, so they kind of had to like make sure the Marina thing happened. I think injuries were definitely a factor for this stuff. But again, who do you think? We have Babes of Wrath, Willow and Harley against the Sisters of Sin, which is Julia and Sky, Tony and Mina, and we have Megan and Marina. I think I'm going to go with Julia and Sky because I think they are the group that can create a cool stipulation for a tag match. So that's
I'm going to go with Tony and Mina.
Okay, Tony and Mina. They said they have a crazy stipulation idea on Wednesday. So
there's something crazy cooking up in both of their brains. So
yeah, I agree. Darby, we have Darby versus Pac. Really cool that Pac is in a single pay-per-view, but I can't imagine. Again, now Darby, here's the thing. They have written an excuse for Darby to lose because he literally got thrown off the top of the stage on top of a burning table. So they could 2 weeks ago. So they've written an excuse for Pac to win clean. I don't know. Maybe if Pac is leading the group, Pac wins this match.
Yeah.
I think the story should be the Death Riders are winning and Moxley is losing. Marina's winning her tag stuff. You know what? I'm just going to go on a limb. Pac. Darby does not lose. Darby losing just does not hurt Darby whatsoever. I
completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I feel like Pac wins this, and I feel like I don't think the Death Rider's in tomorrow night, but I think we start to see the actual like tears in the group.
You think they saved that for Dynamite, or do you think they do it on a pay-per-view?
I think they do it on a pay-per-view for sure.
Not full gear.
But yeah, not full gear. I feel like that's like the Death Riders have been such a big story for AEW. I feel like that's a main event thing. I feel like that's a main event fall apart. Like and obviously John Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly is going to be a great match, but it's not the main event.
It's not
close to the main event.
I'll probably start the show, honestly. I was just thinking about that. Probably would start the show. But I still, while I want to say, what a turnaround. The Death, like Moxley has become for me like the most watched part of these shows. Like he has been incredible the last like 3 or 4 months. Casino Gauntlet for another title. Yes, another championship for AEW. It's the national championship. The Shelton Benjamin will win the national title, or the Greatest Western World. Evil comes out laughing the whole thing. Evil's not. Evil's in Japan. Also, Tony Khan does not like Evil. Fun thing here in this gauntlet match, or the Casino Gauntlet, is Shelton and Bobby are starting this match.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see them fighting each other. There's going to be a lot of people in this match. I have no idea who's going to win this. It's a new title. I honestly couldn't tell you who's going to win this match. So who choose first?
This one's hard to pick because you also don't know who else is going to be in the match.
I'll say this: if God,
because somebody could come out and just like blow all predictions out of the water when it comes to the gauntlet.
I'm like, So here's what I'll spoil it. I think MJF is going to come out after Hangman wins in the main event. I think Hangman's going to beat Joe, and he's going to, because MJF has teased he wants the rematch from Double or Nothing with Hangman.
Yeah.
And he wants a Triple B. So I think MJF will come out to end the show, stare down with Hangman. Good way to end the show.
Yeah.
Question is Swerve also back on this show? If Swerve is, he'll probably be in this match, winning the match. So I'll say Swerve.
Interesting.
I'll say Swerve. I want Ricochet.
Yeah.
Really want Ricochet. He kind of got clobbered by Lashley on Wednesday. I think Ricochet should win this match. I don't think you need every championship to. I mean, I think Ricochet just needs a belt. I don't think we need this title whatsoever. We just don't.
100%.
And I hope Ricochet have 3, so they smack his bald head. How about they don't? How about they don't? Lashley's also bald, and so is Shelton. They should be like the bald trio.
3 bald brothers.
Come on, why are they attacking him because he's bald? I mean, come on. You know why I'm biased. Ricochet is an Eagles fan like I am. And he went on this whole, I also saw Wednesday, but he did this whole promo about how good the Eagles are. And I was like, oh my God. Because I think the show is in somewhere close. I think, it was in New York or something. And they were like, the Eagles this. I'm like, oh my God, Ricochet is cutting a babyface promo to me. So this is great. But yeah. I'll say if it's a current member of the roster, I'll say it's Ricochet. If it's a returning Swerve, I think Swerve's going to win this match.
I think Ricochet's a really good pull for that one.
We have Brodito, FTR for the tag titles. Ricochet should Moxley. What is the Ricochet hate? I mean, come on. This guy has completely turned around his career this year.
Loves
FTR,
evil and hates Ricochet.
FTR are winning this match. I think FTR are going to be the new tag team champions. They are literally, I don't think people, they're on like every show. Like they don't miss a Dynamite or Collision. They are so committed. So are Bandito and Brody. And this, I don't think when Tony booked them at first, Trey was in Boston. Thank you, Moxley. That's why I don't like Boston sports either, as a Philadelphia person. So I'm happy Ricochet said that. But I think Brodito was made up kind of for fun by Tony, and it turned out to be the most over tag team very quickly. And then he had to put the titles on him.
Yeah,
I think it's time for FTR to win their 3rd AW tag titles. And I think down the line, you can do FTR versus Cope and Christian again, but for the tag titles. I just think FTR is winning this match. Blackhawk?
I want Brodito to win because I like Brodito a lot.
Pick him.
But yeah, I do see your point about Cope and Christian further on down the line. I want to say I'm going to pick Brodito this time because I don't think Cope and Christian are ready yet.
Cope's still filming Percy Jackson, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Brodito wins this go around. And once we know Cope is coming back closer to time when Cope is coming back, I think FTR will take it off their hands.
Yeah. I think they should keep Brodito champs until Buddy comes back. Buddy comes? Oh, for Buddy, he's out a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back even next year.
Like, I think I don't know. I think he'll be back next year, but it could be late first half of next year. I don't think it's early.
Yeah, because they were like worried about him losing his foot. Like that's not something that you just kind of pop on back through. Yeah.
We have the $1 million trios match: Kenny and Jurassic Express against the Bucks and Josh Alexander. Kenny and Jurassic are going to win this match, but they are really really hinting at a Young Bucks babyface turn because they did not want to join the Don Callis family on Wednesday. I think the babyface turn could actually happen on this show, where I think after the match they attack Kenny or something, and they're like, "You have to join the Don Callis family." The Bucks turn on the Don Callis family, and we get the Elite back. I just think it's time for the Bucks to go babyface at this point, and it's funny the crowd has not wanted to turn babyface for such a long time. And I think the crowd's finally ready because they've been so entertained by this broke-ass Young Bucks gimmick. I think the Bucks are going to lose this match. They're not going to get $1 million, but I think they're going to help Kenny post-match and turn babyface. Blackhawk?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I think Kenny and Jurassic Express win, and then we definitely get the Elite back, if not tonight, very soon.
The Elite. That's my group, my favorite group of all time. So I'm hopefully. Statlander Mercedes for the world title. Mercedes has like 14 belts now. Will it be 15? I think not. I think Statlander
No.
wins.
Yeah, I think Statlander's got it, and as great as Mercedes has been for AEW and every other promotion that she's wrestling with, I think that I think the better story is she loses everything she's got before she gains that title.
Yep, I agree. I think she needs nothing, then wins the world title. I think.
Yes.
The story is clear. Mercedes is not focused on the world title. It's just another match for her. Statlander is the world champion. She's focused on being the world champion. I think Mercedes beat Statlander all the times. I think they wrestled 2 or 3 times on pay-per-view last year. Really great matches. They have great chemistry. This probably will be the match of the night, I think. I just think Stat's going to win. I think it's time. If Mercedes wins, I'll quit the business. I think Mercedes gets, in my opinion, way too much hate. She's not Hulk Hogan where she's forcibly booking. These shows won her on the shows winning their titles. Like she's not. And by the way, she's committing. She's going to all these different countries wrestling. And I do trust that she's not going to just relinquish titles. She's going to go back, put people over. And the story is, I think she's going to lose like 15 straight matches and lose all these titles. I do think it's the story here, which I think could start here. She could lose the Ring of Honor title at Final Battle, which is in 2 weeks. I think you start having her just lose matches to end the year.
Yeah.
Main event, Hangman and Joe. I already said Hangman's going to win. I've loved what Joe has done, but Joe's a trios champion. It's not time for him to win the world title, and he's got to focus on being the trios champion. So Hangman will win, and I think the big cliffhanger is MJF returning, stare down with Hangman to close out Full Gear. Blackhawk.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Hangman's definitely leaving with the belt on this one. Joe, as much as I love Samoa Joe,
so do I.
He just doesn't need it right now. He's got plenty of other things going on. He's got plenty of other avenues he can take.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Hangman's the easy option because we all want to see Hangman and Will Ospreay and Hangman and Swerve go at it again for the title. And so, we're rounding around the corner to win. Both of those guys will be back in the action.
We are close to, you're right. We are close to it. Luckily, Tony Khan said Ospreay will be back in the first half of next year, which is really good to do. But Swerve and MJF I think, could be both on this show. I think AEW has a lot of momentum. Hangman needs to come out to that heel theme and kills. I don't want the heel. I need that good babyface Hangman music. It's so good. I have nostalgia for it because that's when Hangman, when he has that music, boy, does it give me chills. And I'm excited for him and Joe. Hangman, last time he was in a steel cage, did some of the most disgusting things to another person like he did with Swerve. So it will be a grotesque match. I haven't seen Joe bleed, though, in a match like that. So, and I also want to say thank you, Mr. Escobar, for liking our video on Facebook. Thank you so much for liking. We really appreciate it. We did go an hour. I really appreciate Moxley and everyone else who joined us for this episode. We'll be back. We'll talk about if we're back next week. It's Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving. So TBD, I guess, for still that show. But as of now, we should be good for next Friday. But before we go, Blackhawk, tell people where they can find you and what you do for BodySlam.
For BodySlam, I make all the clips that we post on social media from our live shows. And you can find me at Blackhawk Walker on any social media platform.
Fantastic. You can find me at Denenberg Max on Twitter, at Max Denenberg on Instagram. For BodySlam, I do the highs and lows. I'm still doing them basically every single night of the week, where I break down Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, Collision. So stay tuned for 10 o'clock tonight because I'll be, once I'm done this show, watching SmackDown and giving my highs and lows, enjoying the final month of SmackDown being a 2-hour show because it's going back to 3 hours at the beginning of 2026.
Yeah,
so,
why?
Tell me. Please kill me when that happens. But yeah, because I don't like 3-hour wrestling television. Even Dynamite and Collision, it's just it's 3 hours long for TV. But I'll be doing the highs and lows. I also do all of the post shows for BodySlam.net, which includes Blackhawk and myself. We're going to be live tomorrow as we're going to break down Full Gear from the Prudential Center. We're going to go through every match, talk about our favorite moments of the show, what worked, what didn't work. We love talking all things AEW, so I'm very excited. And also next Saturday, I'll be doing the post show for WWE's Survivor Series with Rami. We're both very excited to do that. And again, thank Moxley looking for BodySlam to hire him. But Moxley looking for Moxley comments co-host promoting himself. Moxley, I do want to say, I know we completely disagree on 90% of topics, but it is great to have you in here. As always, really helping out the chat and all those things.
Shout out Moxley.
And Corey, always being really cool. Please subscribe to BodySlam's Patreon for exclusive pro wrestling news. I'm sure Corey has some scoops for Full Gear tomorrow. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, all of those. Please follow us. We have videos or live shows every single day. BodySlam is growing very quickly. Please join us and help us as well. Helps everyone here make this a full-time job working for BodySlam. The more you guys support, the more that dream can happen for all of us. So please subscribe. And once again, we'll be back next Friday on Black Friday. So everyone, have a lovely Thanksgiving with everyone that you're enjoying your Thanksgiving with. It's always a very big holiday for a lot of people. So hopefully you have the best Thanksgiving you can. You're going to have tons of wrestling to watch over the next week, which includes Japanese pro wrestling. We'll see you guys for episode 9 of Tour of Japan. See you guys soon, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.